Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Happy Wednesday, hockey think tankers. You all know that Wednesdays are promoted by our Skate Tech partners. Skate Tech Skate Sharpening Equipment Repair brings you NHL quality service at an affordable retail price. With over 23 years of sharpening equipment customizing experience, Skate Tech serves as your personal equipment manager, providing the highest quality skate sharpening, blade profiling, team uniforms, and equipment alterations available on the market today. Let Skate Tech help you take your on-ice performance to the next level with the edge the pros trust. Check them out at skatetechsharpening.com.
What's up, everybody? Here we go with a Short Shifts Wednesday episode. 10 minutes are on the clock. Jeffrey J. Hulivecchio has no idea what the topic is going to be, but should he choose to join me on this journey, on this magic carpet ride, we will have a fun conversation. So here we go. Vex, are you ready to rock and roll?
I do not accept today.
Really?
So let's go. What do we got?
Okay, here we go. Today I want to talk about the Royal Road.
Ooh.
The Royal Road. And for those who do not know what the Royal Road is, this was popularized, I believe, by Steve Valiquette, former goalie with the New York Rangers, very active on social media, huge into analytics, and does a great job breaking the game down. If you're not following him, you got to follow him. And so years ago, he was doing a lot of different research on how goals were scored. And one of the things that he found is that if you get the puck across the Royal Road in the offensive zone, you have a much better percentage to score a goal. So what is the Royal Road? The Royal Road, if you draw a line in the middle of the ice from the boards out to the blue line, so in between the two tops of the circles, it's basically going side to side across the ice. If you pass the puck, skate the puck across the ice, across that Royal Road, that middle line in the offensive zone, much better chance, much better probability of a shot going in the net. So he popularized this. A lot of analytic people, a lot of people at the high levels of hockey, they're talking about the Royal Road all the time. So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why it's important. Let's talk about what we can do to potentially get pucks across that Royal Road to give us a better position to score and go from there. So Vex, first, are you aware of the Royal Road? I know we've probably talked about it, but what are your thoughts on it? Go.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't a term when I was playing. I don't think. Maybe right at the end, maybe right at the end of my career, 2018. I don't know. I remember first hearing about it from Dorado, talking about it with him. Maybe when we started our podcast, but for me, it's anytime. If I'm coming in on a 2-on-1, I tell everybody if you can pass it across the ice as soon as you get in the zone, it almost immediately always seems like you have a way better chance of scoring a goal. D-man's not going to be in position, all these things. The more that you can get the puck moving east to west as you get closer to the net, the easier it's going to be to score because the goalie is not going to be on his angles perfectly. If you skate the puck from the neutral zone straight down the ice into the zone, that goalie can check his post. He knows exactly where he's at in his net. He's comfortable. He knows his angles. He's played shots from these angles thousands and thousands and thousands of times. But every time you make a pass east-west across that middle of the ice coming down towards the net, that goalie is getting off of his angles just slightly a little bit. So the more times that you get there across, you're going to wind up creating some opportunities, some openings, some holes, some things like that where it's going to be way easier to score because the goalie doesn't have like his best possible setup coming out at you, if that makes sense to the listeners.
Yeah, totally. Anytime you can get the goalie moving east-west, that's a win. That's 100% a win. And so whether you're skating the puck across the middle of the ice, that Royal Road, whether you're passing the puck, which is obviously faster, so it's a little bit harder for the goalie to be able to kind of match that. Yeah, that increases your likelihood of scoring 100%.
And this is the reason why Toph said skating it. This is the reason why you see so many players in the NHL and college hockey when they take a penalty shot or in a shootout, they don't just skate straight down the middle of the ice and then shoot it. There are some players who do that, but a lot of players you'll see do some type of weave. Start off in the middle, go to the outside, maybe weave back to the other side, because you're getting that goalie to move. Now they don't know exactly where they are in the net. Obviously, older goalies are a lot better at knowing where they are in space and time, but younger goalies especially, if you in a breakaway or anything or a shootout or anything like that move east to west a little bit, you will see tons of space opening up between the goalie's body and the post because they're losing where they are in the net.
100%. 100%. I think about a couple different situations, right, as it relates to this. First, you talk about 2-on-1s. Like if you can make the pass before the defender's stick across the Royal Road and get the goalie moving across, you now have just created better conditions for yourself to be able to score a goal. Whether that's a one-time shot or whether you get it, like the goalie's already had to move and they're in a little bit more of an uncomfortable position. And then the other thing too, it's not just the goalies, but it's the other players on the ice that have to move and shift when you move the puck across the Royal Road as well. So you make that, let's talk about that 2-on-1. You make that puck, that pass before the defender's stick. Now he has to adjust to where the puck is gone now. And it's that. So like getting the puck across the ice, east, west, whether it's a quick strike opportunity or even if it's setting yourself up for better conditions in the offensive zone, like they talk about in the offensive zone. So everybody's trying to outnumber really fast. You know, you see if you took a screenshot of D zone coverage when the puck's in the corner, all 5 players are on one side of the ice for the most part, right? So let's get that puck across the road. Let's change sides, get it across. Now you have to shift the entire D across the zone. You spread them out. There may be some confusion now, as opposed to them being in their positions and really, really easy for them to defend in that way. But yeah, like, so I would encourage everybody to do a little Chat GPT or Google search on the Royal Road, and you'll find some really interesting information and data on it. When we did our power play study, Nar and I, like, I don't know, 6 years ago now, the percentage of goals that had the puck going across the Royal Road was absolutely ridiculous. It was like 70-something% at the end of the day.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, think about PPs. Think about where Stamkos and Ovechkin are, and think about when they get that seam pass from, Backstrom over to Ovechkin. Like, that's going across the Royal Road. Way harder to defend as players, way harder to defend as a goalie.
Yeah. Or even you're thinking about rush opportunities and rush chances, maybe not even necessarily a pass, but a pass off the pad, a shot that you aim at the far side toe and the goalie kicks out the rebound to the other side. Now that goalie has to move a lot further, to be able to make that second save. And so, yeah, for me, it comes down to 2 things. Like we talked about, it's getting the goalie moving and getting the goalie uncomfortable. And if you can attack right away once that puck gets moved across the Royal Road, again, you're giving yourself a better opportunity and increasing the likelihood and the conditions that you're going to score a goal. Because, like, when you look at how to score, 2 things that are extremely big when it comes to increasing that likelihood is Royal Road and how fast it gets off your stick. So like one-time goals, 2-touch goals, rebound goals, that you go on your stick, off your stick. That's huge too.
Massive. And I'm now that I have all these shooting lanes in the gym, like I've been helping the guys after our workouts with like some ideas of shooting in the shooting pad area, and watching, midget players versus junior versus college players. Like, one of the biggest differences is how quick they can get the puck off. And college and pro, and as you get older and you get better at this, you get more velocity on your shot. But the starting point is just trying to get it off quicker, trying to get it off your stick quicker, on the stick, off the stick, on the stick, off the stick. And then you learn how to use the flex in the stick, and you learn how to, put some more power behind it and how to adjust your body. But that's something we've been really working on. And goalies are so good as you get older. And a lot of times they're so big. They take up so much of the net. They're so quick. They're so positionally and technically sound because they've had, 10, 15, 20 years of working with goalie coaches. And they are just, you can't just try to come down straight on them, and no deception, and just beat them. You gotta move the puck and then get it off your stick as quick as you possibly can. And the quickness is usually what beats them, not how hard you shoot, especially as you go up in hockey.
Yeah, 100%. And again, going back to the Royal Road, if you can get it across there and it gets off your stick fast, that is a huge win, a huge value add. And so I would encourage coaches, like in practices, like make sure in your rush drills, especially, that you are getting passes, I would say before the tops of the circles to give the goalies a chance, but a lot of passes across the Royal Road, a lot of cross drops, cut to the middle, drop the puck to somebody coming off your back. And so you're getting, again, you're not only making your players better because you're putting them in positions to score more goals, but I think you're also making your goalies better too when you're doing that, because the goalies have to skate, the goalies have to move. Now, again, quality over quantity, make sure they're not getting 83 shots in 46 seconds and having to move side to side across the crease. But yeah, Royal Road, man, like I would encourage everybody to go online and check it out. There's a lot of things that have been written on it and go from there, but huge part of the game today. And so time is up. We love you guys.
Share the show.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.